at the moment becoming a real nation to watch in the climbing scene.
And I've talked about the fact that we saw Dohyun in both the boulder and the lead final in the single discipline, finishing on the podium, 3rd in boulder and just off the podium in 4th in lead. He isn't a specialist in either. He's incredibly good at both disciplines, so we know he can perform to the best possible level on this climb, but can he do it right now?
And you talked about the crowd and how it changes things. Since Paul's fallen, this crowd has gone silent. They are just tense in their seats as they watch this.
Yeah, which I do think gives a lot of weight to the athlete, very much suggesting that these moves are maybe not as hard as he might have thought when reading the route, but definitely suggesting he doesn't need much encouragement. Every now and then they kind of give a little bit away. As soon as he nears the high point, so where Paul fell off, the crowd will start to erupt and really want to see him push through that. So he'll very much get a feel for where Paul came off and what happened. Whether he's aware of that or not, or he's totally absorbed in his own climbing, we'll have to ask him himself. But it is hard to ignore a crowd like this because they are electric.
And he makes that move that Paul did look a little easier. Still a bouncy move into the left.
But again, similar to Paul, not quite sure of how to hold this right hand. He made a decision much quicker. He's got a big drop knee in now, and he's going to take that clip. You can just see here how slopey those holds are. They're not in cut, so the climbers having to squeeze really hard to hold onto them. They can't relax or let up at any time. A foot slip or a hand pop will see them off the wall, and they don't want that. Climbing purposefully, accurately, and really, really considered is so important in lead climbing.
So that's where Paul fell before. And Dohyun is looking a little more comfortable here on these moves. This is where Paul had that sort of desperation wraparound. You can see the chalk deliberately left there by the setters just to show where the athletes are going. And he comes up to the undercling, crosses through, and 30 beckons above his head. It's the jib up there with the right hand. For a moment he popped a foot, but now he's got toes in.
And making that clip, it's really important that the climbers get that clip in early, because the next section they will climb down. If they forget to clip, they would have to climb back up again. So he's got that in and he moves to the section. The crowd may be suggesting he's got the new high point, he's almost there, and he's working his way through these holds. They look very big, they look good. We know some of them are good, but the ones that are have very terrible feet. So making them feel not as good as they want to be on that roof section here. This wall is 40 degrees overhanging. I don't think it looks that steep, so it's worth remembering. It's hard to actually see how steep it is when these climbers are on the wall. Watch the way his chalk bag is hanging down. You can see it's so steep, that wall. These holds are not going to be feeling very good right now.
They aren't, and he's climbed all the way down. Now he's climbing all the way up, so he's pretty much where he started on that 30, but the moves do count here. So a nice little feature there put in by the route setters. And he throws over with the left.
And keeping the foot, suggesting he's feeling really good. We were expecting much more of a dynamic movement into that hold, but he is looking really smooth. A high heel for the lower clip, which he didn't take earlier on, and I expect we'll see him clip the next one from this position as well. He might have a little shakeout first though.
Yeah, it's a good spot that. He reached way down left to clip that in. So, by intention or not, Dohyun has the clip in from that position, and he's just below the head wall here, as you can see from this wide shot from the camera panning across on cables. Dohyun will shake out here for as long as possible. He has got time on the clock. And getting some reaction from the crowd as well. 1 minute 57. And he's in the lead with 1:27, so lead added to Boulder.
But a big fumble of that clip there. He pulled the rope up, tried to clip it in, didn't get it. So suggesting he's not feeling as comfortable as he might have been looking initially. The next hold is worth 60 points, so if he can reach up to that and get it, he'll be in the 4-point scoring zone.
I thought he might have been short rope there, but I think it was just the angle he was pulling the rope at, because he couldn't get much purchase on it, but he gave it a tug a few times, so I don't think that was a belaying thing. I think it was just the position he was in. And there is the next scoring zone with the pink on the jib, and Dohyun is struggling to get out of this. Hasn't got the reach on it.
reaching up, not quite making the distance. Great that he's able to save that, but really suggestive of how he might be feeling on the wall right now. Not able to give as much as he needs to make that move, and we see him just falling short of that hold. A bit of an unusual